All right, it's the brother Zariyah back in the news with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone who rule well. Peace and blessings to the sincere believers, the Akim out there pushing his word to the four corners of the earth, putting your life on the line to proclaim this gospel. Also to the few sincere sisters listening and learning in silence. To you I say Shalom. So this is a Zero Hedge article going into a Tucker Carlson and Alex Jones interview that they had. All right, going into multiple topics, deplatforming, depopulation, and the coming NWO. So we know that the cat is out the bag, pretty much the elites, because so much information is available through the means of the internet, that people now, they can do their own due diligence and look into why these certain laws are being put in place. What was the whole CV-19 about? What was the whole Capri Sun thing about? And what people are finding out is that these certain measures were put in place even when you go into this whole contactless payment thing. This is all goes into a digital society, which is going to lead to what? The mark, the MOT to the B, which is fastly coming upon us. So majority of the population, those that actually care about what's going on in society, they're finding out that the elites have pretty much pulled the wool over their eyes, through the means of propaganda, through the means of censoring information, which is what this deplatforming goes into, is really censorship. All right, because those that bring out alternative information that's against the narrative of the powers that be, they want these people gone. They don't want anyone to speak out against what they're doing. And the crazy part about it is many of the people speaking out are other Edomites that are discontent with what the elites are doing, because what's happening now is pretty much the elites, which are the tribe of Amalek, they're taking the blessing, and they're leaving the lower level Edomites out of the deal. They're not giving them a piece of the pie. So now this is why ultimately there's going to be a civil war in America. Many people are, cursing out the elites for what they've been doing. And because of that, deplatforming, mass censorship, shadow banning, and eventually what they're going to have to do is shut down the internet, because, there's just too much information available to people altogether. They're going to have to shut down the internet, wipe the slate clean, and when the internet does come back on, you're going to have what? Digital ID, you're going to have to plug into the metaverse. So every individual is going to have a particular ID that identifies you, where you live, where you are. All right, that's the first step. Then they're going to have to be under your skin in the form of what? The RFID, micro CHIP, or the Neuralink brain chip, Revelation 13 and 16. All right, so this is what's coming down the pipeline. And of course, they don't want anyone to speak against what they're doing, but really, they need to deal with the men of the Lord. They need to deal with those that are tying the events happening in today's time back to biblical prophecy, because ultimately that's what it all goes back to. Alex Jones, he's he ties a lot of things back to biblical prophecy. Tucker Carlson, not so much, but he's aware nonetheless. You see, so people such as this, that are otherwise, right wing, Christian, these people are dangerous. So how much more the true men of the Lord, the true prophets that are actually speaking against this society, actually speaking against America. They don't have anything to accuse us with, but they're going to have to come with false accusations, just like they did to our Lord, Yahweh Shai, in order to get us out of the way and to silence us. Okay, so this, going into this deplatforming, this is what it's all about. Okay, so let's get into it here. It says here, Jones warns, however, that they are panicking, speaking of the elites, because more and more blacks and Hispanics are voting Republican. Okay, which in this article, eat the meat and spit out the bones. Okay, meaning to digest the parts that we know are true and to discard the falsehoods or things that are not profitable. Okay, so we know that whether you vote Republican or Democrat, it really doesn't matter. You see, because when Trump was in office, guess what? He was fulfilling the agenda of the elites. Joe Biden, he's clearly fulfilling the agenda of the elites. Okay, Democrat and Republican. So what you need to understand is that these different political parties, they've been set up as a really a distraction. Okay, really to be the face for the people that are behind the scenes. All right, whether they're Democrat or Republican, they both work for the same people. They both carry out the agenda of the elites. All right, so what you need to understand is that the Democrat, Republican, or any other party, you know, really those are the two main parties, but they're both two wings on the same bird. Which he explains is why the open border policy is being allowed. They are bringing in all these totally disenfranchised people from around the world, putting them in camps where they indoctrinate, where they are indoctrinated into a subdued political underclass that's then going to be turned loose on America. This is why Democrats are giving illegal immigrants driver's license, the right to vote in some cities, allowing them to become police officers, so they are importing a new enforcement class against the American people. The new class will allow them to bring home a new world. You see the word there. All right, but yeah. So, the agenda is in full effect. All right. The agenda is in full effect, and all of what they're doing, what they're allowing, because you have to think about with this border crisis, right? Why would they allow so many people to come across the border just like that? And then again, they actually bust these people in. They actually flew these people in, and like you see here, the information is brought out that they're actually giving these people rights that American citizens have, such as to vote, to be a part of the police force, and other such things. So clearly, this is to unravel this society, to pretty much cause so much hell that the American people are gonna beg. They will freely and willingly give up their rights, all right, and pretty much sell their soul to the elites for this NWO. And this is known as what? Order out of chaos. All right. The elites, they set up the chaotic events, the false flags and things of that nature. And part of the reason why they're allowing all these people into America is because, okay, many of these people, listen, man, you already got sleeper cells in America. Okay, you have Gurkha troops, UN troops, all in America. Okay, so you're about to see in 2024 many false flags pop off across the country, and this is going to cause people to be in a state of fear. All right, to the point where they're going to desire some form of order, and what order are the powers that be going to bring? Well, it's going to be the new order, all right, of the world. Okay, so going into the NWO, Jones and Carlson also discussed the NWO after Carlson noted that White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre is an idiot. That's it, Jones replied. We're in a beautiful ball. It's prom night. Everybody's dressed great. There's wonderful food, big delicious punch bowl. And then they have, what can we do? Well, just have Brian Stelter take a dump right in that, and then here he's there, laughing at you. They're all there laughing at you to make you feel small, to make you question reality. Why is everything so ugly? Jones then explained that the elites demonize rural Americans in order to blame them for the ills of society. The reason you're doing bad is not BlackRock and the WEF and Bill Gates. It's all those evil people in the countryside. Okay, which that's one thing that the elites do. To take attention away from themselves, they'll point the finger at everybody else and say, no, we need to drive electric cars because you're, having too much, sexual intercourse. Your dog is defecating too much. Cows are farting and consuming too much grass. You're eating too much meat. You know, but never mind what they're doing though. Never mind that Bill Gates, he's actively pushing a digital ID to be rolled out in America. Now he's the single biggest owner of American farmland. Okay, he's talking about a disease X that's going to come about in 2024 that's going to knock off billions of people. All right, and guess what? The World Economic Forum and the WHO, they're with it. All right, they're with all of this, but they're going to point the finger at the citizen and say, no, you're the problem. Okay, you need to stop eating meat. Okay, you need to stop driving gas powered vehicles. You need to stop doing these things because we need to control you. Okay, we need to monitor you 24/7. We need to tell you how much carbon that you can use a day. We need to tell you how much that you can buy, how much that you can spend, and everything. You see, so truly, these elites, they have a God complex in which they feel as though in order to realize their agenda, they need to have complete control over the entire population. Okay, this is what it is. Yeah, WEF and Bill Gates, it's all those evil people in the countryside. They're all white supremacists, terrorists, and racists. Let's go get them, because the last group they don't control is rural people that are self-sufficient. And that's facts. You know what I'm saying? If you live out in the countryside and you don't live in the big cities, you're much better off than people that do live in the big cities, because you're further away from civilization. You know how to work the land. You know how to sustain yourself. You don't really need anything from society at large, really. It's really like you govern yourself. You make a living for yourself and your family. So the elites indeed do have less control over those people. But guess what? We're coming into a time where even those farmers and the people that live in rural America, they are going to be targeted too. All right. Bill Gates is going to pop up, and give you an offer, sell your land to me for X amount. And if you refuse, you already know what's going to come next. You're likely not going to be around anymore. All right. And then they're going to just take your land and seize it anyway. And so I get going to the countryside, protecting your children. That's the holy grail. The problem is you got to have one foot in each. You got to go back and fight in the city for the infrastructure for the government. Okay. You got to give people hope while also building a backup operation of farming and ranching and self-sufficiency. And the message that the men of the Lord are giving is that ultimately farming and ranching, that's all well and good. But ultimately, if you don't have the Lord on your side, it's not going to make you no difference. It's really not going to matter. All that is going to be in vain. And we are coming into a time where the earth is going to be hit with many calamities, many wild and strange events that, crops are not going to be growing. Okay. Many of your livestock is going to die anyway because of the judgment that the Lord is going to bring on the earth. So this is why we say, there's nothing wrong with being self-sufficient. There's nothing wrong with growing your own food, living secluded, being more independent from the city life. But at the end of the day, you got to have the Lord, to make it all make sense, man, because no matter what's going to happen in society at large, the Lord will protect you from the evils, all right, as long as you're sincere. Okay, so he goes in here. That's why the WEF and the United Nations are coming in Ireland and in areas of Asia and the Netherlands and saying by 2030, 80% of your cows got to be dead. and they just banned like 30% this year in the Netherlands. They're all WEF globalist alumni that the big banks on record brag they've penetrated the cabinets. And Klaus Schwab did make that statement that they've pretty much penetrated the cabinets of these Western governments. All right, so no wonder you're seeing what you're seeing. Okay, why you think Joe Biden is doing what he's doing? Because the White House, and this is nothing new. It's not like they just penetrated the White House with Joe Biden. They've been in the White House, but now the agenda is just coming forth more blatant because the powers that be know that they have a short time. To quote Klaus Schwab, they've put their operatives in to cut off our energy, demoralize us, release the hardened criminals, but the political activists in prison continue to cut off the resources to make an angrier world. And this is what they want. They want to make an angrier world so that they can bring the solution of what? Peace and safety. But the scriptures say what? When they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child. Okay, so these elites, once again, order out of chaos, cause the chaos. You bring the order. You bring the peace and the safety. You bring the contentment, right? So they must make an angrier world for you to, as a means for you to get to that point to where you'll just be like, you know what? I'm worn out. I can't do this anymore. Just go ahead and sign me up for the NWO. This is what they want people to say, to fall to their knees and beg the powers that be to give them food, to give them shelter, which entails what? Eating bugs, universal basic income, 15-minute cities, being put in, new projects. You know what I'm saying? This is what they're gonna have in this NWO. Klaus Schwab says we're going to make the world collapse. We're going to have everybody turn against each other. We're going to blame the political classes that we own and control. And then when we're done, we'll bring in our new solution. So like I just said, order out of chaos, right? But first thing, they have to demolish the cultures of societies that we had before with the fentanyl, with the open borders, with the demoralization, and then they bring in their next phase, which is a high-tech, cashless society. Robot drone control nightmare. More than half of the U.S. and their official UN maps that they've had for more than 25 years show half of the U.S. off limits to humans. All cars will have to have GPS. Everyone by law will have to have a cell phone at all times. And that's the admitted global UN standardized plan, where you don't leave your house without a cell phone. So if people think things are bad now, Jones continued, the straitjacket, the ball and chain is going on, and it's all being militarily run. Our military is great men and women, but at the top, our military has been globalist Ukraine. New NWO people for at least 30 to 40 years. Jones also says the NWO is pushing for, like I mentioned, 15-minute cities, central bank digital currencies, all of these systems that track and trace everything you do with the social credit scores. The plan for 99% is 250 square foot coffin apartments, 5G, bathing you, literally eating a bug protein. So again, the agenda is out there. People know what's going on. And Alex Jones and Tucker Carlson, these are mainstream guys. You see, these people are mainstream. They're well known. They're world renowned. So the fact they're bringing this out on platform, this is going to lead the elites to, hasten this censorship agenda. To silence, all right, anyone who speaks against what they're doing. And ultimately what it's going to come to is they're going to put you in camps, and ultimately you're going to be put to death if you are not with the agenda, if you're against the status quo. The NWO order discussion leads Jones on to discuss the controversial topic of depopulation. It seems at the end of every globalist policy delivered from on high. The globalists have gone from the testing phase to fully operational now. Okay. And Jones replies they want to bring the world population down to 500 million. And this was on the Georgia Guidestones, which they destroyed last year. All right. Maintain humanity at or below 500 million. And how are they going to get there? Because right now there's about what 8 billion people on the planet right now. So, like Bill Gates said, in 2024 there's going to be a disease that's going to come that's going to knock off billions of people. You see, so these devils are about to come down with great wrath. They're about to come with it because they don't have that much time left. We are told do not have children because it is bad for the earth, and points out that Elon Musk is a hero for pointing out that we need to have kids to save the world. Otherwise, society collapses. Okay, so I'll that's pretty much it for the article. You know, it's the main points have been made. So we see that as the title says, okay, if people think things are bad now, just you wait. Okay, if you think things are hectic now, just wait a couple months into 2024. Then you're gonna really see hell take place. Okay, because you have to keep in mind in a few months to come, food is going to be scarce. There's going to be blackouts. You know, it's going to be in the dead of winter, so people are going to be desperate for certain resources. You know what I'm saying? We already know that. You know what I'm saying? So hey, man, prepare for the worst. You know, pray for the best. You know, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Basham Yahushua, but prepare for the worst because that's exactly what's coming. Let's get some scriptures, right? Psalm 10 in verse 3. For the wicked, okay, now who is the wicked? Okay, the powers that be. The likes of the World Health Organization, the World Economic Forum, these Rockefellers, Rothschilds, these are the wicked of the earth. Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Okay, these people rule over the whole of the planet, okay, which are Edomites. For the wicked boast of his heart's desire, and bless the covetous whom the Lord abhorreth. The wicked, through the pride of his countenance, will not seek after Yahweh. Yahweh is not in all his thoughts. His ways are always grievous. And are these people's ways not always grievous? Do they not always push unrighteous decrees? His ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are far above out of his sight. As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them. He has said in his heart, I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity. His mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity. And that's talking about the Edomite. Okay, because really all they do is push wickedness. That's why they were set up. The Most High set these people up to, push a wicked vibration within the earth. But the spirit that's on these people is a very, cold spirit, because they're about to knock off billions of people and they're not going to give a damn. See, they actually want this to happen. They don't care about you. They don't care about your family. They don't even care about the earth. You see, really what it is that, the Lord got them in the spirit to push their agenda into warp speed. Okay, because Revelation 12:12, the devil know he has but a short time. So, they're about to go all out, because this is the last push, This is the last drive to get to the touchdown, man, if you will. So, hey, expect the most, craziest, the most wicked, and they're blatant with it now too. They're not even trying to hide it, because there was a point where they, if you spoke on these things, they would call you a sea theorist, but now, the elites, they're actually coming out openly and blatantly telling you what they're about to do. This is why the scriptures say, as for all his enemies, he puffeth at them, So whoever speaks against, although they don't want you to, still they say, well, what are you going to do about it? Yeah, we're about to do this. This is why they can say these things openly, because what are you going to do about it? Okay, there is seizing control over everything that you have. And if people want to wage war against them, well, guess what? They got control over the power grid. They got control over who gets food. Okay, they got control over the internet. They got control over pretty much everything that you consume. So unless you're living out in the countryside somewhere, unless you're living like a Amish person, and you're just completely off the grid, you're at the mercy of the wicked. All right. Daniel 7:25, and he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws, and they shall be given into his hand until a time and times and the dividing of time. So these devils, they're actively seeking to change times and laws. All right. All these unrighteous, wicked laws that they're putting on the books, telling people that, only a certain amount of people are allowed to gather here, and you're not going to be able to buy this, that, the third. You're going to lose your bank account. Okay, all of your dollars are going to have to be translated over to central bank digital currency. This is what these devils are doing. They're changing times and laws. And guess what? The saints of the Most High, which are the Israelites, the so-called Black, Latino, and Native American, we're at the bottom of society already. Okay, and guess what? We're worn out, having to get up and work every single day, having to work hard, you know what I'm saying? Being oppressed by Esau, Edom, and all these, unrighteous decrees that this devil is bringing down the pipeline, man. The devil has worn us out. Okay. But yeah, we've been given into the hands of the wicked for a time. But guess what? When he comes for the elect, all right, the Lord is going to raise up a standard against this man, and he's going to be disappointed. And in the midst of that, you're going to have World War III pop off, Ukraine, Taiwan, many other small skirmishes that are going to pop off, man. Okay, this right now, Esau, he got a lot on his plate. Okay, the Edomite has a lot on his plate, man. They have a lot to worry about. Then they got to worry about the so-called UFOs, which are the chariots of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. So yeah, they have to be focused on a lot right now, and it's really is bugging them out. It's causing them to fear, which is why you have all these different world leaders calling for to take action against climate change, because they're all of what they're seeing is causing them to fear. So now the reaction is to what? Put these things into overdrive, put the agenda into warp speed. Okay, because we have to accomplish this thing before our time runs out. Last scripture, and we'll close. Revelation 20:4, and I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahushua and for the word of Yahweh, in which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands. And they lived and reigned with Yahushua 1,000 years. Okay, so due to these unrighteous decrees that they're going to bring down, guess what? Some of us are going to be beheaded. And that's the cost that you have to count being in this truth. Okay, you have to know that when you come to serve the Lord, it's going to come with temptation, and ultimately you have to understand that it may cost your life. Okay, so yeah, it says that some of us will be beheaded. Why? For our testimony, for our witness of Yahushua, because we proclaim the truth of the gospel. And what it says, which neither worship the beast, right, neither received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands, and lived and reigned with Yahushua 1,000 years. So this, what the devil is doing, he's seeking to weed out the elect. All right, because when he brings all this hell upon the planet Earth, all those who are not of the elect, they're gonna take the mark. All right, they're gonna take the Neuralink. Okay, so they're gonna take Salakia, the Neuralink brain chip. Okay, they're gonna take the RFID in their right or left hand. Okay, because why? They don't have no faith in the elect. Okay, they're gonna exercise their faith unto the death. So the devil is going to know, okay, if I cut them off from buying and selling, if I cut them off from society, all the people that are of the world that worship me, that are with me, they're going to take my mark. The only ones that are not going to take the mark are the ones that have the testimony of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right, that have faith, that have the spirit to know what the mark is and to abstain from it. So then at that point, the devil is going to know, okay, now I got to go for these people now because they're not with what I'm doing. Okay, they're against me. So the scriptures also say that the enemy cometh in like a flood. Yeah, so Esau going to come in like a flood. You know, Esau going to come down heavy-handed with that wrath. Okay, to what? Make war with the remnant of her seed. Okay, which are the faithful elect of the Lord, all right, that are going to resist temptation and resist the devil. All right, ultimately only the Lord is dealing with his elect. Okay, the rest of the world, when all this hell comes, when all these wars and famine pop off, and you're faced with, you know, siding with the devil or suffering for righteousness' sake and facing death, you know, the world, they're gonna seek to save their life by taking the MOTB, but the elect, they're going to lose their lives, all right, for righteousness' sake and to gain the kingdom. That's ultimately what this is all. See, all of what's about to happen is a test. Okay, the hour of temptation, man. All of this is a test from the Most High to see who is truly faithful and who is not. And ultimately, if you receive the MOTB, if you worship the image of the beast, all right, which is going into this NWO, all right, then hey, you're gonna get destroyed. Okay, the scriptures already tell you about the judgment that's gonna happen to those that take the mark. You're gonna receive a grievous sore. Okay, that could be cancer, you know, that could be boils all over your body, that could be your head exploding, or, you know, losing a limb. Hey, who knows? But at the end of the day, we know that it ain't worth it. Okay, we know that enjoying comfort for a brief moment is not worth being destroyed by Yahushua and the angels once they return. All right, so the elect, you know, are going to suffer for righteousness' sake unto the death, and they're not going to be with this NWO. So with that, hopefully this lesson was edifying through the Rakah Kedash. In closing, call halal, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakah Kedash, and until next time, Lord willing, Shalom.